Coming off an insanely stacked 2023, 2024 might seem a little quiet. In reality, while there may not be as many AAA projects, this might be one of the best years for indies in a long time. Let's take a look at a few of my most anticipated titles. Sure, you might be getting Elden Ring DLC this year, but does that game have crabs? Huh? Oh, it does? Okay, but does it have a chopsticks-wielding lobster boss? Exactly. This is why you should be looking out for another Crab's Treasure to fill that gap. The combat is definitely challenging with rare flashes of that From Software magic, but I think the thing that will take this game to the next level is the humor. The team at Aggro Crab really knows how to have fun with their story and gameplay, so if you're looking for a game that is at least funny and goofy while it's beating the joy out of you, wishlist this ASAP. It's coming to PC, Xbox, Game Pass, and Switch. I think we're all thinking the same thing about Replaced. This game looks sick. Please let the trailers be an accurate depiction of the gameplay, and what even is the gameplay? Hopefully we get some answers soon, but until it drops on Xbox, Game Pass, and PC, there's not a lot to do besides gawk at the visuals. So let's all take a second. And now let's move on. Thank goodness you're here, because I have a hilarious new indie title to tell you about. The gameplay is essentially a walking simulator, but the humor is unlike anything I've seen in a game before. I played Thank Goodness You're Here at PAX West last year, and from start to finish, I could not stop chuckling. You're slapping butts, you're watching someone have a mental breakdown because of their big forehead, and you're listening to unintelligible local UK slang half the time. Based on my demo, I don't know. It could very well be a cult classic, so keep your eyes peeled for this one on PC, PS5, and Switch. Harold Halibut came completely out of left field for me. It centers around the birth of an unlikely friendship between a man and an alien in a sci-fi underwater setting. It seems like it will be a fresh narrative experience presented through a directorial lens we rarely see in games. All of the visuals are handcrafted scenes brought to life by stop motion, giving players a unique artistic style to connect with as they go on a bizarre and humorous adventure surrounding the submerged ship city. Now if you're not convinced yet, please go watch the trailer. It had huge Isle of Dogs energy and it completely blew me away. Check it out when it's released on Xbox, Game Pass, PC, and Switch. Animal Well has been on my most anticipated list for quite some time now. After playing the demo, I can say that there's no question that this game will send players on a visual, auditory, and mental journey. The gameplay feeds into the player's desire for exploration while simultaneously challenging your moment-to-moment expectations. Its undeniably weird and intriguing energy gives me hope that this game will be a deep rabbit hole of surprises. Hopefully, it won't be too long until we can all dive in for ourselves when the game releases on PlayStation, Switch, and Steam. Have you ever attempted to make one of those origami cranes with that specialty paper and thought, oh wow, this is confusing and hard? Well, don't worry because Paper Trail has made big innovations in the confusing origami space. This game is all about folding the map to get past obstacles. It's a simple premise that can quickly become out of hand. Based on the short demo I played, Paper Trail is poised to be one of the top games holding down the puzzle genre this year. So don't sleep because it's coming to all consoles and mobile later this year. Sadly, most of these games don't have release dates yet, but if you want to stay up to date on the most exciting games coming up, don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest updates from this channel. The Plucky Squire captured hearts and minds when we first saw it revealed over a year ago. What stood out was a shocking twist that the game would take place across both 3D and 2D spaces. This opens the door for a bunch of cool game design concepts, such as a side-scrolling shooter or a 2D fighter. From what we can see in the trailer, the Plucky Squire will have countless unique and unexpected gameplay moments as you're guided through what seems to be a fairly wholesome adventure. Get ready to tap into your inner Toy Story when this game drops later this year on all platforms. Next up is an extremely nerdy game with a lot of reading and dice rolls. That's right. Citizen Sleeper 2, baby. We don't know much about this sequel, and to be honest, I don't really care about any of that. Give me the same game with the same excellent storytelling, and I'm there. We're still waiting on the exact release information, but in the meantime, do yourself a favor and play Citizen Sleeper if you haven't already. We haven't seen a lot from Earthblade, but when you're talking about a project coming from the creators of Celeste, you gotta show some respect. Their last game changed everything in terms of level design, platforming, and controls, so it's only natural we expect great things from their next game as well. Earthblade is seemingly going to focus on the concept of seamless exploration, bringing combat and 2D open world designs into the focus, along with the platforming we already know and love from extremely okay games. We're also supposed to be getting a lore-heavy environment with tons of secrets to find and characters to meet. It's safe to say that there's a lot of potential here, so make sure to wishlist this as we wait for more information on its 2024 PC release. If there's one thing I love, it's a good mystery, and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is offering exactly that. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a puzzle game or a narrative-focused title, but the team behind Sayonara Wild Hearts has promised to deliver a compelling story about a murder and an ancient conspiracy. So far, I'm inclined to believe in their vision. The most recent trailer turned out to be a meta-commentary that was breaking the fourth wall and talking to the viewer. Jump over to the comments of that trailer, you'll see tons of people decoding hidden messages left for keen eyes. Now, I'm not that smart, so I'm just going to wait for the release date so I can begin to
remember the maze. Do you remember the maze? Do you remember the maze?
To remember the maze when Lorelei and the Laser Eyes releases on PC and Switch. Everdeep Aurora might end up being my sleeper pick of the year. It's hard to explain why, but I am absolutely mesmerized by this game. The beautiful soundtrack and whimsical world design almost reminds me of something akin to a wholesome Hollow Knight. There is a certain level of mystery and intrigue that beckons you to jump in and see what this game is all about. The gameplay looks to serve the story, and as a result, you get several different types of gameplay fused into one. I played a demo a while back, and it was both relaxing and enticing, so I can't wait to check out the rest when it drops later this year on PC and Switch. A game I know many of us have been waiting on for quite a while is hopefully right on the horizon. Mina the Hollower is shaping up to be a fantastic action-adventure title that pays homage to classics like Castlevania. You play as a spunky little mouse with several tools to aid you on your journey, including a whip, a drill, and their version of an Estus flask. From what I played through demos, it seems like Mina is retaining all of the philosophies used to design Shovel Knight. The combat is challenging but rewarding, the characters are charming, and each level holds dozens of secrets to discover. So if the demos are indicative of the final product, we might be looking at one of the best indies of the year. If you're an action-adventure fan, do not miss out on this one. Stay tuned for Mina the Hollower's release on all platforms later this year. Come on, you all knew this was going to be the last game. Silksong has reached mythical levels of hype. It is the Elden Ring of indie games, and outside of the release date, there's one question on everyone's mind. Can it deliver? Unfortunately, that is something I can't answer until I have the game in my hands, but what I can say is that Hollow Knight started out as a project with very little funding, no audience, and no existing content to build off of. And despite that, Team Cherry worked tirelessly to build a tight, rewarding, multi-layered experience that sent the gaming community in a frenzy. Silksong is a project with funding, a passionate community, and a lore-heavy world to build on. And bringing it to life is the same determined team from over a decade ago. Despite how little we know at this point, I think it's safe to say there's a lot to be excited about. Okay, so we've reached the end of the video, but there are so many more indie games to talk about. This is going to be a great year for games, so make sure to subscribe to discover more hidden gems. And while you're waiting for updates, check out this video for something you might have missed.